successfully on Courthouse.
Wyatt, it was 10 years ago. I know I hurt you.
You've only been presiding judge a few months. I doubt if you'll prompt a groundswell of confidence by entrusting such expensive proceedings to little Joe Cartwright.
Judge Conklin, I try not to get involved in pissing contests.
Is he? Good for it?
That's if you're sleeping with him.
Let me be blunt. I've been in sex crimes for 7 years, and you just don't have what it takes.
Well, I would never want to get in your way.
Don't sweat it. You never will.
Detective Cool Dev, you're charged in felony complaint BA 602, brandishing a firearm, lewd and lascivious conduct, assault, and possession of narcotics.
How do you plead?
My client pleads not guilty.
Waive formal reading.
All right. Let's set the pretrial.
Your Honor, the state's also requesting bail in the amount of $100,000.
What kind of crap is that, $100,000?
The state considers the defendant a danger to the community.
Detective Cool Dove is a decorated member of our police force.
Who ran coked up and naked through a hotel lobby and then coerced a sorority girl to play ring toss on his erection.
Objection.
Judge, a large amount of cash and cocaine recovered indicate a possible link between these officers and local drug dealers.
Your Honor, that's a slanderous exaggeration of the facts.
I apologize to the court. Apparently, Officer Cool Dev was not naked. He was wearing a condom.
Oh, Your Honor.
All right. Come on up.
Your Honor, no one's denying my client had a few too many with his partner on a well-deserved weekend off, but bail is an outrageous request.
The court will grant the state's motion for bail. We'll set it.
This guy's a publicity hound, Judge. He's just smelling headlines.
What I smell are dirty cops.
That's a beautiful necklace.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
And if I were your age, I wouldn't waste any time finding a ring to match. He's smart, sensitive, and available. Provided that's your type.
He'll do.
Conklin really that bad?
He gets off on abusing rookies.
Of course, if you manage to get a conviction and still come out alive your first time, you could earn yourself one of these. Prosecutor's Purple Heart.
Honey, I can't remember when I lost my virginity, but I got that baby on July 27th, 1988.
Okay, here goes nothing.
Lenore, you might need this.
Hey, I know the coroner's office is swamped, but you guys left me on hold twice yesterday. I was calling about the French autopsy. It's been 3 days. I really need it.
Yeah, and I need a new prostate.
I'm not trying to give you a hard time. But it was a hit and run. I figured the cement truck had something to do with it.
I'm handling a special trials matter. Capital cases take priority over your penny ante crap. Maybe I'll get to you stiff before the roaches do. Until then, get out of my face.
Beckett, give the man what he wants.
Thanks, man, but I can handle this.
I'm sure you can, Mr. Moore. I'm Eric Pavey, at Special Trials. Are you familiar with our unit?
Sure. You guys grab all the juicy death penalty cases before us peons get a shot.
We were wondering if you'd be interested in handling a competency hearing for us tomorrow. We're looking for a new prosecutor. You've got a great conviction rate. You're single, which gives you the time to dedicate yourself. Let's call this hearing a tryout. And if all goes well, we can explore a more permanent arrangement.
Death
Squad's no joke, Eddie. There's only one reason those Golden Boys like to keep a token brother on the team. Any guesses as to the complexion of most of the defendants?
This psychopath I'm going after strangled a woman at an ATM in front of her 2 kids. I don't give a damn if his ass is straight.
They're using you.
So what? I'm sure as hell gonna use them. A couple of years on the death squad can make my career.
It's Evans. I gotta go.
We're still on for dinner?
Morello's?
Morello's. Someone's feeling rich.
Nah, special trial lawyers are fast track to serious money, baby. Get used to it.
It's not all for me. No, really. I got some people visiting with their kids.
Hi.
No, also, I mean, I have planned to go on a diet.
I understand.
No, I knew you would. It's the worst kind of prejudice.
What are you talking about, Myron?
A person should not be judged for their rate of metabolism.
Uh-huh. Is that the cobbler?
Yeah, you gotta be pretty fast. With a scoop of vanilla, it's outstanding.
Your Honor, I'm Sergeant Miller, Chief Bailiff.
Right.
You got a second for me?
Sure. Yeah, of course I do. Excuse us.
You understand that it might be difficult to run a smooth courtroom in light of you granting bail on that officer this morning.
I hope you understand that Officer Cooldeff fired his weapon in a public place. He's lucky he didn't kill somebody.
I'm just concerned that if our boys were to feel their brothers in law enforcement weren't getting the respect they deserved, that those feelings might spread like an epidemic. Just letting you know, Judge.
You look like you just lost your appetite.
Assuming I had one.
I could make a suggestion. It has been 10 years, but I did take the afternoon off.
I guess I could take my beeper. Yeah, it has been a while, hasn't it? You sure you remember how?
I'll do my best to keep up.
I'll wait for you at the finish line.
Hey! Come back here!
I believe you owe me $5.
You hustled me.
Well, just have to work something out.
Now I remember. How you broke my heart.
Oh, well, I was young and foolish then. We're older now, we know the rules. Take it nice and easy, one day at a time.
No problem. Will you marry me?
On the first date.
I am in real trouble.
Don't worry, Allison. You have a very strong case, and we have an eyewitness. Don't let him get to you. They hired you as a dancer, not as a prostitute.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Sterling Conklin presiding.
All right, next up, State versus Wells. Winston H. Pretrial. Felonious sexual assault. Yes, see counsel at sidebar. This is your first appearance before me, Miss Latterman.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. When I heard Congressman Latterman's daughter was in the courthouse, I couldn't have been more delighted.
Thank you.
Now, before we begin, there's a small procedural issue I must address. The father of the defendant, Mr. Thomas Wells, is known to me from our military service some years ago. I do not foresee a conflict of interest. I assume the defense has no objection to my hearing this case. However, if you do, you have the right to petition this court to recuse itself.
No, of course not, Your Honor.
Excellent. Well, then we're ready to proceed. Counsel will step back. Ms. Latterman, call your first witness.
Right now,
did you pull this morning? I heard the bailiffs are forming a lynch party.
Those cops are dirty, Ronnie. I'm telling you, this story leaves at 6 o'clock, guaranteed.
Glad to see you're doing it for the right reason. Look, I hate to bring this up. No, actually, I don't. My lease is up next week. Am I moving in with you or not?
Ronnie, I'm jammed on this thing. Can we talk about it tonight?
Sure. No problem.
Mitchell, what the hell do you think you're doing with this bail stunt? The deputy chief of police just ripped me a new one.
Hold on, Andrea. Let me explain.
You have pissed off the police, the bailiffs, and the sheriff's officers. And I hear they just brought in another cop who was at the same party.
I can handle it. I've got the goods. These detectives were playing delivery boy for drug dealers. When I'm through with these guys, you're going to be running for mayor.
Of course. If we decide to go after police corruption, we should go with both barrels. Now, you've got these guys cold. All right. Go for an indictment this afternoon. No more grandstanding, Mitchell. Everything goes through me.
Yes, boss.
Jonathan, I've got to talk to you. We picked up another suspect in that cop case.
I heard. Good.
No, not good. It's Holly. Sorry.
Hey, Jake. They need Rico upstairs in Langham's courtroom.
Hey, you can't leave him here without his attorney. Hi. Who are you? I can't talk to you without your attorney present. Will you tie my shoe for me? Are you trying to be funny, jackass? Please.
My nana ties them for me. Can I go home now?
Do you know why you're here?
I hurt that lady.
You killed that lady.
Will you tell her that I'm sorry?
So, Mr. Wimmer, you're just wandering down the hallway looking for the men's room when you passed my client and Miss Stewart. Were you preoccupied?
I suppose.
Now, you testified earlier that you heard Miss Stewart ask my client to stop, and yet you walked right by. Now, I can only assume that you felt the situation was innocent enough not to aid a woman that you thought was in distress.
Objection, argumentative.
Overruled.
Mr. Wimmer, how much alcohol did you consume that night?
Objection, Your Honor. Assuming facts not in evidence.
I'll allow it.
I had a few drinks.
So, in a drunken state, you were wandering...
Objection, assuming facts.
Overruled. Continue, Mr. Cole.
Isn't it true, Mr. Wimmer, that the alleged victim also was drunk that evening and was overheard talking to several men, asking them if they were interested in having sexual relations with her?
Objection, hearsay, Your Honor.
Overruled. Answer the question, Mr. Wimmer.
This is outrageous.
Your exception is noted, Ms. Latterman. Now sit down. Sit down. Mr. Wimmer, let me clarify. In light of the fact that you've admitted to being inebriated, were preoccupied, and only saw the defendant from the back and in passing, are you prepared to swear that the man you saw was indeed the defendant and not some other partygoer?
I thought I recognized him. Maybe I misspoke.
Your Honor.
When one is under oath, Mr. Wimmer, misspoke is tantamount to perjury. I'll ask you again. Are you positive it was he and not some other reveler?
I'm not sure.
Thank you, sir. Call your next witness, counsel. Maybe we can adjourn early today, after all.
I just stood there like an idiot.
Hey, Conklin's a bastard. Sometimes you have to roll with the punches.
I'm not going to roll with anything. Look, if I wanted to file a complaint, what would I have to do?
You'd go through Judge Parks, who would then bring it up before the Advisory Committee on Judicial Conduct. But I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Why not?
Because Conklin's got a lot of power around here. And a lot of friends. Your motions will be denied. Your objections overruled. You'll lose cases. Save your ammo for a battle you can win.
I'm not afraid of him.
You should be.
I know he's busy, but it's urgent that I see Dr. Mackman this afternoon concerning tomorrow's hearing. Edison Moore, special trials attorney, right?
Hey. I heard about Holly. I'm really sorry.
She's in a lot of trouble. I'm late.
So what are you gonna do?
What do you mean?
About Holly.
What happened between me and Holly's history?
You can't prosecute this case.
The hell I can't. We're talking about dirty cops, Ronnie.
We're talking about someone you lived with for a year. Jonathan. What about her son?
I gotta go. Got a minute?
Come on in, Andrew. Is that my try or dismiss memo? Problem?
Yeah, I'm head prosecutor, not the miracle worker. I cannot control the whole system. All cases currently filed by the prosecutor's office must go to trial within 5 months or be summarily dismissed.
Understand something. I have no more room in the county jail to house defendants pending trial. Some of those guys have been in there for over a year.
Why don't you call up the head public defender and read her the riot act?
I already have. Now it's your turn.
Justine, nobody's dragging their heels around here. But if you're going to insist on 5 months and out, we should be talking about bail, not dismissal.
Take it under advisement.
Thank you.
One more thing. Why did you tell Stacy if she decided to go to Skidmore, you'd buy her a car?
So that she could drive home on the weekend. What is the big deal?
She doesn't need a car, Andrew. I don't want her driving back and forth every weekend just so she can see her boyfriend.
What boyfriend? I'll call her later. And I will see you Thursday night.
I don't think that I'm gonna be able to make it this week.
No? I'll see you if I see you.
Lenore Louderman's still waiting, Judge.
Send her in.
Veronica. I'm Holly Baker. I know. I'm sorry to meet you under these circumstances, but Jonathan and I may not be able to talk, and I'd appreciate it if you tell him something for me. I don't know. Just tell him I don't blame him, and tell him I understand he's just doing his job.
Well, wait a minute. This is none of my business. But things between you and Jonathan, did they end badly?
No, not at all. He just decided he wasn't ready to be a dad, and yeah, I have a kid. He was very upfront with me. His career came first. Just tell him it's okay, and tell him Billy says hello. He really misses John.
Judge Conklin overruled a series of clearly sustainable objections, and then he took over the cross-examination.
That's his right.
He deliberately intimidated and discredited my witness so that his friend's son could walk. Look at the transcript.
All your witness had to do was stick to his story, and he didn't.
Before he took the bench, Judge Conklin and the defendant's father walked out of chambers together. They're old friends.
Did he offer to recuse himself?
Yes.
And what did you say?
I didn't want to offend him. And I guess I was intimidated, too.
Lenore, I know that you want to do the right thing.
A woman was sexually assaulted. I should be taking on her attacker. I should not have to take on the judge, too. If this guy walks, I can't live with it.
When is this matter due back before Judge Conklin?
Tomorrow afternoon.
Sleep on it. If you still want to proceed, bring the complaint to me in the morning.
You'll have it on your desk.
So you can appreciate my concern, Doctor. I'm supposed to walk into the courtroom tomorrow and prove that this guy deserves the death penalty. I'm not even sure he's competent to stand trial.
Mr. Moore, I've been diagnosing individuals like Mickey for 19 years. He's a functional adult.
He doesn't know how to tie a shoe.
Individuals like Mickey Lennox rely on well-rehearsed sympathy ploys like that, Mr. Moore, to get through life. It's a way to get attention, and it is also a way to avoid taking responsibility for their actions. And don't feel bad about it. There are trained clinicians who fall for that stuff all the time.
When I reviewed the file, I noticed there was no IQ listed.
Well, Mickey suffers from ADD, attention deficit disorder. Can't sit still for standardized tests.
So how did you determine his competency?
In lieu of IQ, there are a series of environmental observations of the subject in the home, in the workplace, but it finally comes down to the facts of the case and the psychological assessment.
So there's no doubt in your mind that he's responsible for his actions?
Mr. Moore, the Special Trials Unit regularly relies on my testimony. I have written 2 textbooks on criminal behavior and the mentally impaired, and I do know what I'm talking about. Mickey Lennox murdered this woman because he wanted the money. Now, don't let his childlike demeanor fool you. He knew exactly what he was doing.
I appreciate your time, Doctor.
Glad to be of help.
My calendar's at a complete standstill. Every cop scheduled to testify in my courtroom's called in sick.
I'm sorry, the cops aren't under my control.
And I issued a bench warrant for an Officer Lucas who failed to appear, and now my bailiff says he's too sick to serve it.
Listen, I'm about ready to jump into a judicial misconduct mess. This originated in your courtroom. Handle it.
All right, whatever you say.
And I wouldn't jaywalk until you do. Killed Pagliacci, Sterling. I just read the transcript from the Wells case. The defense couldn't have done half the job that you did on that witness.
The young man admitted to being inebriated.
Miss Latterman said that you met with the father in chambers before the trial.
Thomas Wells was a radio operator in my platoon in Vietnam. I watched him repair a field radio lying in a muddy ditch with an AK round in his stomach. He saved 4 men. The platoon went on to receive a combat unit citation. When he came to me, it was to ask for justice for his son. The prosecution witness was not credible. I merely ensured a just process.
The prosecution is filing a judicial misconduct complaint against you.
I would view any baseless indictment of my integrity as an act of aggression.
Sterling, if I find out that you manipulated those proceedings, I will take this to committee myself.
We're dropping the charges on Officer Coolidge.
Come again?
He's got immunity, rolled on his dealer. Feds have been after that guy for 3 years, so we go with the woman Baker. The coke was found in her apartment, tied all to her.
Boss, if it's just one cop now, maybe we shouldn't...
When you're through, I need everything you've got on Holly Baker's case.
Excuse me?
What are you talking about?
She doesn't feel comfortable with the police department lawyers. I've agreed to represent her.
Now listen, Jonathan. We started a war, now we need a scout. If you can't deliver it, I'll find someone who can.
Don't worry, Andre. I'll take care of it.
That's all I need to hear. We'll reconvene in 2 hours.
I don't know what the hell to think, Suze. And this doctor's a top guy. I can't get that kid out of my mind. Now, you look into his eyes. There's something missing.
I don't care what this doctor says. If this doesn't feel right to you, then it probably isn't.
Listen, I have to talk to this guy. Then I got an interview in lockup.
I'll meet you downstairs.
So, I understand you had a conversation with Dr. Mack.
Yeah, I wanted to be familiar with his testimony.
Fine. So there are 2 standards that you have to satisfy in this hearing. Competency to stand trial, Pate versus Robinson, and competency to be executed.
Ford versus Wainwright. I'm up to speed.
Good. Yes, we're counting on you to come through for us. Oh, yeah, and yeah, take a look at this.
Cute?
Yeah, they are. They're the kids that watched Mickey Lennox choke the life out of their mother in that bank parking lot. Helps to remember who the real victims are. You hold on on to that. Yeah, and get some rest. You got a big day tomorrow.
Thanks, Miss Bell.
You're welcome. Hector, let me in.
Markham, Hector speaking.
Hey, listen. They still won't let me go home.
I know. Mickey. Why did you hurt that lady, Mickey?
I asked her for some money so that I could play the video games, and she started to scream, and it scared me. I didn't want people to think I was hurting her, so I covered her mouth, and she stopped screaming. I just wanted her to stop screaming at me.
You get some rest.
Just go over this Pavey guy's head and talk to the director of the unit.
It's the way these guys do business, Suze. I've put dozens of perps away, and I would have been happy to strap a few of them into the chair myself, but I don't want any part of this.
There's only one way you can save this kid. Don't call the doctor to the stand. You rest without calling the shrink, and there's no way the judge can find this kid competent to stand trial.
I can't just throw the case. They'll be watching. If I don't put the shrink on the stand, I'm dead.
Well, if you do put him on the stand, the kid is dead.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Holly says she never took a dime. We'll be alleging that Cool Dev set her up by planting the coke in her apartment, and you know what I'm doing.
Damn it, Ronnie, the last thing I intend to do is to make this case personal.
This became personal the second you decided to prosecute your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, well, I can't worry about her now.
Right. You're too busy acting like a tough guy. Nobody's gonna keep you...
Look, I have got my boss breathing down my neck on this case. The last thing I need is a lecture from you on how to do my job.
I'm not talking about your job, Jonathan. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about us.
I gotta go meet Evans. I'm gonna be here till late, so, maybe you should stay at your place.
Fine. I was planning on it anyway. And by the way, Billy misses you.
Right there. Yeah, hand him my second room.
Judge Jackson, is there something I can help you with?
Yeah, there is. I'm here to serve a bench warrant for Officer Lucas for failure to appear. Claims he's sick. Now, I've talked to his wife, talked to his ex-wife. None of them seem to know anything about this sudden illness.
You know, Judge, I'm thinking maybe you ought to head home.
You know, I admire the loyalty. But I know most you guys. You're good officers. Are you sure you want to go to bat for a couple of cops that do nothing but make you look bad?
You must be talking about me.
Hello, Marty.
So what do you want?
Got a bench warrant for your arrest. I'm taking you in.
It's that a fact?
That's a fact. Now you got two choices. You and I can just walk out that door nice and peacefully.
Yeah, what's my second choice?
You won't like it.
What the hell kind of judge are you, anyway?
Yeah.
Looks like we're about to find out.
Okay, let's go.
Appreciate your cooperation.
Yeah, give me another beer. Where's Billy?
Sleeping.
I really shouldn't be here. I just wanted you to know that I feel really bad about this whole thing.
I know you do. I'm glad you came by.
I wanted you to hear this from me. My office is dropping the charges against Cool Dev. We're just going after you. I'm sorry.
I took money, Jonathan.
What?
I knew about the parties and I looked the other way. Then one day I found an envelope inside my locker.
How much?
Altogether, about 10,000.
What the hell were you thinking, Holly?
I was thinking that I could get ahead on a few bills. You know, maybe fix the brakes on my car. Finally put some money away for Billy. I mean, look around. I'm not exactly living in the lap of luxury here. I really screwed up, Jonathan. But I'm a good cop, and you know it. Oh, honey, are you okay? Did we wake you?
I heard Jonathan. Where have you been?
Hey, pal. Oh, you're getting heavy.
I can't believe you lied to me.
Not about the drugs. I never took any drugs. I just took the money.
So what is this? An attack of conscience?
Look, I was scared. I wanted you to represent me. I'm sorry. But you're my lawyer now. You had to know.
So why should I believe you about the drugs?
Because that's what Cool Dev does. The dealer tips him off on the drug action and supplies him with the coke to plan to make the bust. Cool Dev's a hero with the department, and the dealer eliminates his competition.
Can you prove this?
No. Look, what if I told you that someone from the prosecutor's office came to my apartment last night and asked me questions about the case? And I told them about the payoffs.
Did this happen?
What if it did?
It would mean that the prosecutor's office violated your right to counsel, and they might have to drop the case. It would also mean that the prosecutor involved would face sanctions and possible disciplinary action.
But I'd walk, right?
You set him up. This was all about getting him to your apartment, wasn't it?
I have a kid.
Yeah, I want to talk to you.
Are you out of your mind? Do you know what you're asking me to do? Answer the question. Can you get into the police evidence locker or not? Assuming I'm stupid enough to try, what would I be looking for? Cocaine. From any drug bust, Cool Dev, or a squad meeting in the last year and a half. If I get the coke, then what? Then we test it against the stuff they found in Holly's apartment. If they test the same for purity, Holly's off the hook. Says Jonathan. Suzanne, please.
Mr. Wimmer, a young man's freedom is at stake in this case, and it's my duty to make certain that sworn testimony is completely accurate.
Look, do you want me to sign something saying he didn't do it? I mean, whatever it takes, because I'm not looking for any trouble here.
Why would you believe that's what I want?
Because his father came to me a couple days ago and said you guys were old friends, and that you'd be pissed off if his son went to jail. So when you start asking me questions...
I'm going to ask you a question now, Mr. Wimmer. Think very carefully before you answer. I want the truth. If you do not tell me the truth, and I will know, I'll have you indicted for perjury. Did you see Winston Wells sexually assault Miss Stewart on the evening in question?
Yes, sir.
Edison?
Good morning. How'd you sleep?
I've had better nights.
Well, don't worry about it. I was nervous as hell my first time. You'll get used to it.
Mr. Moore, I hope I was able to ease your mind yesterday.
You helped out a lot, Doctor.
Let me tell you something. I've got 3 kids, and I can't let them go outside and play anymore. Don't worry, Mr. Moore. We have a winner here.
Gentlemen, let's get this thing started, shall we?
Mr. Moore, is the prosecution ready to proceed in the competency hearing of Lennox Michael T?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please call your first witness.
Sit down.
Counsel, please. Proceed.
The state calls Dr. Philip Mackman to the stand. Your Honor, may I briefly consult with my expert before he takes the stand?
Briefly, Mr. Moore.
I've got something to say to you. I'm going to say it once. I want you to smile, listen, and nod. Do you understand? I checked your report. You talked to this kid for all of 15 minutes.
We're waiting, Mr. Moore.
You never went to his house, never went to his job, his schools. In short, you didn't do your job. Smile and nod. Okay, here's the deal. You and I both know this kid didn't know what the hell he was doing. If you go up and lie, I'm going to destroy you. It may cost me my career, but I guarantee you it's going to cost you yours. Understand? So, Doctor, in your expert opinion, was Mickey Lennox fully capable of planning and premeditating the murder of Rhonda Fields?
Based on the data available, I'm unable to make that determination.
Well, and based on the data you reviewed, are you able to declare Mickey Lennox competent to stand trial?
No.
Your Honor, the state is forced to recommend that this hearing be continued so that Mickey Lennox can undergo a complete psychological evaluation.
So ordered.
Thank you for your candor, Doctor.
I've reviewed the Wells pretrial at length. While any suggestion of wrongdoing on my part is absurd, I've decided to eliminate even the appearance of impropriety and recuse myself from the case.
Well, that's very high-minded of you, Sterling. But what about Lenore Latterman? I have her formal complaint right here.
Her decision to question my integrity is outrageous and deserving of sanction.
And if she agrees to drop the complaint?
Then I'd be willing to attribute this affront to inexperience and would consider the matter closed.
I'll see what I can do.
Good day, Judge Parks.
When you picked up on the bench warrant.
I'm going to motion for her to be in civvies for all court appearances. I don't want the jury to see her in uniform. Andre, can you hold a sec?
The coke they found at Holly's matches samples from 6 other busts by Kuldev. It's clearly a plant.
Are you sure?
Tell your boss.
Well, how did you...
I'd be not too disappointed.
I've reviewed your complaint and everything seems to be in order, but before you proceed, you should know that Judge Conklin has agreed to recuse himself from the case.
I don't understand.
Well, the pre-trial record will be sealed, and the matter will start over in Judge Garcia's courtroom. And if you want to proceed against Conklin, that's your right. But I think that you've already won.
Guess I've got a trial to prepare for. Thank you, Judge Parks.
Mr. Moore? I just wanted to commend you on your performance.
How's that?
The good doctor didn't do his homework, which you made abundantly clear. The Special Trials Unit would never knowingly prosecute a mental defective.
Of course not.
I'm glad we're on the same side.
Hey, Beckett. I guess you heard I didn't make the death squad.
What a surprise.
But I'm still an attorney in this courthouse, and I deserve a little respect.
I keep telling yourself that.
Why don't you cut the attitude? You dissect corpses for a living. It's not like you're a real doctor. By the way, you mouth off to me again, your prostate's going to be the least of your problems.
Good evening, Sterling.
There are few stronger bonds in this life than those forged in the furnace of war.
Huh? Oh, true. True. Truer word was never spoken.
It's a brotherhood.
A blood brotherhood.
And when that bond, that sacred trust is broken, it can never be mended.
I understand. Of course I was 4F myself, a deviated septum. But I watched every Robert Taylor movie the studios ever turned out. That one with, Spencer Tracy, a guy named Joe. I cried like a baby.
I suppose it's a wound I shall have to learn to live with.
Like a deviated septum. Come pollen season, every day's a living hell. But you learn to make peace with it. We all have our burdens. Sterling. Really glad we had this talk.
Who's that from?
Head bailiff. These guys must have made a remarkable recovery. That's good scotch. Must have cost him.
You should serve your own warrants more often.
I think I'll beat Justine.
Now?
Yeah, she won't get a wink of sleep until she knows it's okay for me to jaywalk again.
So, I see you next Thursday. If you can make it. I want to explain.
I don't want an explanation. I want an admission.
I never should have agreed to prosecute the case. You were right.
No, it's not that simple. You were willing to hurt someone that you used to love. Just so you wouldn't look weak in front of your boss. Now, how could you do that?
I was scared. I let my ambition get in the way. You saved me, and
I just don't know what's important to you.
Ronnie, the only thing I care about is you and me.
I'd like to believe that.
Maybe this will help.
You sure you want to part with that?
I'm sure. If you're still interested.
I don't know. I think we should talk about it. But it's kind of late.
Okay.
No, I meant that we should talk about it in the morning. Okay?
Dave hoops it up with Shaquille O'Neal, Jennifer Beals, and more. Lots of fun tonight on the one and only Late Show with David Letterman. Now your local news.
And tonight on Heartland News at 10, with the confidence of a lawyer who knows his client is innocent, defense attorney Johnny Cochran conducts his closing statements in the O.J. Simpson murder trial. And the federal government begins laying its final plans for the destruction of dangerous chemicals at the Crab Orchard National Wildlife Refuge. These stories are next.